iconic players in league history all year. How about a player who never missed a game in 9 years and averaged?
Who needs to step up their game in Week 11?
Yeah, let's start off with the guy who makes his return to the field, Nick Foles. I thought he had the best sound of the day yesterday in a lot of different ways from the Jacksonville podium. But he was asked what he told the rest of his team as they headed to their bye for that tough loss in London. Take a listen.
Blocker going through
the message is really simple. It was really just to take the pressure of football off. You know, we're blessed to do this, absolutely. But there is a lot of pressure. So to allow guys to know that, you know, I feel that pressure as well. I know what the anxiety is like, but this is how I counteract it. And we can do this together. And that's what I talk about is culture, brotherhood, is being able to talk about not just X's and O's, but life in itself. Because when you can do that, you grow together as a team and people. And then I'm a firm believer in the fourth quarter, players make plays. If you trust the guy next to you, you're probably going to execute better than if you don't. So that's what we're building here.
So they come off this hard loss, and Nick Foles says to his teammates, don't talk about football this week. Go and be with your family. Go and do it. And if you know Nick Foles, he had a very, very historic career in Philadelphia in a 2-year span. He also had a difficult tragedy in his life over the offseason that he dealt with. And you come into this season with the injury in the first game. And is there any quarterback you'd rather have down the stretch than this guy? 4-1 just last year. That's not even the Super Bowl season. 4-1 last year in the final 5 games this season. They obviously won the game in Chicago. And if Alshon Jeffrey catches that ball in New Orleans, who knows? Jaguars are still in this thing. And I think Nick Foles is here to lead them. He was very complimentary of Gardner Minshew as well. I love what Foles brings to the Jaguars. And I think they are not dead yet because of that guy right there under center.
Nick Foles is one of the best to do it, and I love the fact that he talks about that brotherhood. It's big time in Jacksonville. All right, so for me, I'm going with Josh Allen, the quarterback. Let's go to another QB. Josh Allen is one of those individuals that game in and game out, he'll show you one thing, and then as soon as you fall in love with him, he'll show you something different. But I will say this, though. He has been balling 4 consecutive games without an interception. That's 130 passes. I challenge Josh to be more accurate in his passing, and he has done exactly that. He has 6 rushing TDs this year. That tied with Lamar Jackson. We constantly compliment. So we need to continue to talk about how athletic he is. But as far as the losses, though, they had the Patriots, the Eagles. Then they lose to the Browns?
Yeah, where was he last week?
The Browns? So for me, Josh, who are you?
I don't know.
The moment we say, you know what, he only loses to really good teams, you lose to the Browns. So I'm going to need him to fuel his hustle because it's a slippery slope with teams like the Bills because they're so good right now. But one bad game, one bad moment, one bad slide could have them heading in the opposite direction. And then December, we're sitting back saying, wait, did the Bills miss the playoffs?
This is the game. They're playing the Dolphins. Go win this game.
Go win this game. So for me, it is about Josh Allen and him correct, because he's the captain of the ship. Correct this and move forward.
It's time to grow up. I mean, let's go. It's time. I'm looking at Patriots at Eagles, you know, and there's all these, sometimes you hear about private clubs and secret societies, Skull and Bones, and the SNL has their 5-timers. Exactly. I think there's a club called the Kill Bill Club, and I don't mean Uma Thurman. I'm talking about a club where you hit the piano key and the bookcase opens and you walk in, and Tom Coughlin is the chairman of that club.
He's got a robot?
Yeah. She's the John Harbaugh takes minutes. Gary Kubiak is the secretary, and guys, Doug Peterson is the treasurer of the Kill Bill Club. These are the gentlemen who have taken out great Bill Belichick teams in January and February. And this is the first time that Bill has seen Doug Peterson since that infamous Super Bowl. Bill Belichick seems to be the kind of guy that years and years from now, he's on his fishing boat and he's recollecting of all the times. He's not going to remember the ones he won as much as the ones that he lost. It's really a prolific loss, and I compare it to something in another industry. You go back to the year 2003, there is a gauntlet of performers nominated for Best Actor in a Leading Role, including the Bill Belichick of Hollywood, Daniel Day-Lewis, the man who will spend 20 years being a shoe cobbler just to have 2 lines in a movie about a shoe cobbler. This is the man, the greatest living actor, the Bill Belichick, the GOAT.
The greatest?
All right, now he's nominated against, Michael Caine, Jack Nicholson, Nick Cage, but who does he lose to? Who's the next picture? Go ahead. This is who Bill Belichick, he loses to Adrian Brody.
The piano
and a piano player. And guys, this is fascinating. That is the Doug Peterson to me. Goes on to have a nice career, respected, but he beat the GOAT, all right? And guess who Daniel Day-Lewis was playing in the movie he lost for? Bill the Butcher. Who did Doug Peterson beat? Bill the Butcher. This is Daniel Day going back against Adrian, doing Waiting for Godot off Broadway. And we'll see who's got it more. This is Belichick versus Peterson, trying to get him kicked out of the Kill Bill Club, but it ain't easy.
We can talk about the rematch of Super Bowl 52, what it means to both sides, what Tom Brady said on his weekly radio call. Does it feel the same to you? Like when you're thinking and approaching this Week 11 matchup, it feels nothing like what it did back then.
No, not
Not
then,
even
because
thinking
Wentz
of it.
was out.
Obviously,
we were at
it's
the
different,
Super
but
Bowl and stuff.
are you feeling some kind of way about either squad? I feel like it's a different world.
Well, the Eagles right now feel flat. At the time, they were the team of destinies and the dog mask and the underdog, so it does feel different. But if the Eagles flip the table this weekend and beat New England, they're back. I mean, they're fully back.
For my Feel Your Hustle, usually we go for guys who are underperforming or we want to see, we're challenging Josh Allen, that we want to see more. I'm going to go with a guy who's been crushing it, but needs to make a play against Lamar Jackson's squad this week. It's Deshaun Watson. To me, this is the game of the week. I'm so excited to watch this one in Baltimore, for Baltimore. Deshaun Watson can go up to Lamar Jackson and say, hey, guess what? I have 15 or more passing touchdowns. I have 5 or more rushing touchdowns, and I have a passer rating over 100 the first 10 weeks of the season, just like you do. They are the only two in NFL history to share that specific stat line. And Lamar Jackson's been the talk of the town the first 10 weeks of the season. He's in the MVP conversation with Russell Wilson. There's nothing I love more than a crowded MVP race. Everybody put your stamp on the league and these specific games and these moments and get yourself in that conversation. Deshaun Watson, I think, can do that if he can outduel Lamar head-to-head and, you know, puts the Texans in position to earn a first-round bye in the AFC while he's at it.
There's a great who would you rather have right now for the rest of their career, Deshaun or Lamar? I don't know. I mean, it's a pick-em.
Two Heisman winners.
Game.
Yeah.
He needs that game.
I think he needs it too.
I know it'll be a tough one up against Marlon Humphrey and
Talk about it.
Peters and company. Will Silva's out in the newsroom. More on that Super Bowl rematch from Super Bowl 52, Eagles-Patriots. What do you got?
Absolutely. What's going on there, Kay? And guys, and you touched upon it, it was the first Super Bowl championship in franchise history for the Eagles as they took care of Bill Belichick and the Patriots. Now, in that game, both teams combining for 1,151 total yards. The most combined yards by two opposing teams in any game in NFL history. And, oh, it featured that play. It was, oh, yeah, you know the one. The Philly special. The one Nate, Peter, and Kyle recreate on the streets of New York. In the week for our Sidewalk Chalk segment, head coach Doug Peterson was asked if playing New England in the past gave him a blueprint on how to handle them this season, and he said no.
I think this, we're a different team, they're a different team from then. So, you know, I mean, their defense is different today than it was then. The offense is different, personnel's different, and so it's you know, it's something that's part of our cut-ups, but it's not something that's a focal point at all going into this game.
Browns don't really.
Well, the Eagles' divisional opponents, the Redskins, will now have rookie Dwayne Haskins under center for the rest of the season. Interim head coach Bill Callahan made the declaration earlier in the week. Among 45 QBs with 40-plus attempts, Haskins ranks last with 42.2 passer rating. So he knows there's plenty of room for improvement, but is feeling more comfortable with the more reps he takes.
I just felt like as the game went on, the more reps I got, the more rhythm I got with my eyes and my feet, and being able to look guys in the huddle and tell an all-pro Brandon Sheriff what the play is and have some authority behind it meant a lot for me. And the more that I got to able to do that, the more confident I was and being able to motivate the guys that are around me and finding out ways where I can push the ones that are in the huddle with me. And as the more games, more plays that I get, I feel like I can continue to get better at that.
Keep those reps coming. The Redskins have gone 3 straight games without any touchdown for the first time since 1940. So it's been a while since they've reached that end zone. So good luck to Dwayne Haskins and the Redskins.
But on quite a few
Good luck
plays,
to him, Darius.
Doug
Guys should be back making some plays. Thank you so much, Will Selva. We'll talk to you in a bit.
From the Rams
Morgan Morning
game,
Football ahead of that Thursday night action. Steelers at Browns tonight. But the Jets made a big announcement about their head coach yesterday. It's being picked up on the back pages here in New York City. And super incredible, amazing, intrepid, just fabulous, wonderful actor and comedian Jeff Garland is here in studio. Yeah, he's here.
Tune in. So awkward.
Cool digital camera.
Where you go?